Let me tell you something my mentor once told me. If you want to have more, you first have to become more. You see, thinking is the seed of every result, but not just any thinking, not wishful thinking, not random daydreams. I'm talking about disciplined, directed, purposeful thinking. Most people are trying to change their income, but they haven't changed their philosophy. And here's the truth. Your income doesn't exceed your personal development. Money is attracted to value. You don't chase it. You become someone who attracts it. Big difference. Let me give it to you straight. You don't grow rich by accident. You grow rich by design and the blueprint. That's in your mind. The mind is a powerful tool, but only if you use it right. If you fill it with trash, you get trashy results. If you fill it with clarity, discipline, and service, you start planting the seeds of fortune. Now listen, thinking alone isn't enough. I meet people who say, "Jim, I've been thinking about success for years." And I ask, "Great, what did you do today?" You see, thinking must turn into action or it becomes a fantasy. The first thing you need is a definite purpose, not vague ideas, not general hopes. A clear, sharp goal written down, revisited, and pursued with intention. Rich people think on paper. Poor people think in air. Next, develop the habits that match that purpose. You can't expect a first-class outcome from third-class effort. Discipline is the bridge between thought and results. Read the books, practice the skills, offer the value, stack the days, stack the years. That's how you build wealth from the inside out. And one more thing, don't wait to feel ready. If you wait for perfect conditions, you'll never plant. The wealthy don't wait for certainty, they create it. Courage is the currency of success. Doubt will always be cheaper, but it'll cost you more in the long run. So here's the formula, simple as I can give it to you. Think with purpose. Grow with discipline, serve with excellence, and you'll be rich not just in money, but in wisdom, in time, in joy. That's what I call real wealth. Definiteness of purpose is the first step to wealth because it is the foundation upon which all achievement is built. Without a clear and unwavering goal, life becomes a random drift, and drifting never leads to greatness. When a person knows exactly what they want, they begin to engage the powers of the mind, the spirit, and the world around them in a direction that is focused and intentional. The most successful people in any field are not those who were merely lucky or born into opportunity. They are those who decided with clarity and conviction what they wanted out of life, and then aligned their thoughts, habits, time, and energy with that vision. A definite purpose acts like a compass. It directs your choices, it guides your behavior. It becomes the lens through which every opportunity, decision, and obstacle is evaluated. The person with a strong, burning desire for a specific outcome will see possibilities where others see problems. They'll take action where others hesitate. That definiteness gives them power because it eliminates distraction. Most people are busy being busy. They chase everything and catch nothing. They move in 10 directions and wonder why they never arrive. A person with a definite purpose moves forward like a train on a track, steady, focused, unstoppable. Clarity is power. When you know what you want, you begin to notice the things that will get you there. The conversations you need to have, the books you need to read, the people you need to meet, the skills you need to develop. Purpose makes the mind alert, the will determined, and the heart courageous. Without it, days pass in confusion and years pass in regret. Purpose gives meaning to effort and value to time. It gives you a reason to say no to what doesn't matter so you can say yes to what does. It keeps you moving forward even when the results haven't yet shown up. Because purpose is not a feeling, it's a decision. And once that decision is made, your life begins to arrange itself around it. Wealth does not respond to wishful thinking. It responds to purposeful action, and purpose must come first. A person with no purpose can't set priorities. They confuse movement with progress. They end up exhausted, overwhelmed, and underpaid. But with purpose, even a simple job becomes part of a greater mission. Even a setback becomes part of the learning curve. Purpose turns labor into legacy and turns struggle into fuel. A definite purpose gives you resilience because you are not thrown off course every time circumstances change. You may need to adjust your methods, but your destination remains the same. Success is not about being the smartest or the fastest. It's about being the most focused. Purpose narrows your aim. You don't need to hit 100 targets. You need to hit one again and again until the results multiply. People without a clear purpose often rely on motivation alone, and motivation fades. But when you have a reason that grips you, you don't wait to feel like it. You do the work because the purpose is bigger than the mood. That's where discipline is born. That's where consistency takes root. And consistency is the compound interest of success. A definite purpose also attracts resources. The world responds to clarity. People want to help someone who knows where they're going. Investors, mentors, and partners are drawn to vision, not vague dreams, but specific, actionable, measurable goals. When you speak with certainty and act with intention, others take you seriously. They feel your commitment. They see your potential. But if your purpose is foggy, no one will follow. No one supports a drifting ship. Direction creates momentum, and momentum creates opportunities. Purpose also creates identity. It shapes who you become. You stop thinking like a victim of circumstance and start thinking like a creator of circumstance. You stop asking, "What can I get?" and start asking, "Who must I become?" That question leads to growth. That growth leads to wealth. Because money is not a result of luck, it's a result of value. And value is created by people who are moving with clarity and intention. When you have a definite purpose, you become the kind of person who adds value. You become valuable to your company, your community, your clients, and the marketplace. And value, once created, is always rewarded. Definiteness of purpose makes you proactive instead of reactive. Instead of waiting for the perfect time, you create time. Instead of being stuck in circumstances, you rise above them. You are no longer easily discouraged, because setbacks are temporary for someone who knows where they're going. The world may throw you a curveball, but you don't quit, you adjust your swing. You may get knocked down, but you rise with more wisdom and more will. That's the power of purpose. It makes you unshakable. Most people don't fail because they lack talent. They fail because they never decided. They dabble, delay, and doubt. But purpose demands decision. It says, "This is the life I will build, and these are the steps I will take to build it." It turns dreams into plans and plans into progress. It doesn't require perfection, only direction. And the beautiful thing is, you don't have to wait to find your purpose. You choose it, you write it, you define it, and the moment you do, you give your life power, focus, and a future worth working for. Wealth begins not in the wallet, but in the mind. And the first building block of that mental wealth is a definite purpose. Once that purpose is in place, everything changes. Energy rises. Focus sharpens. Doubt fades, time becomes precious, and effort becomes meaningful, because now you know what you're working for. Now you have a reason to rise early, to stay late, to keep learning, to keep moving, and to keep believing. Purpose gives you the why, and when the why is strong enough, the how reveals itself. Riches begin in the mind before the bank because all external success is first conceived internally. The way a person thinks about money, work, value, and opportunity determines the outcomes they experience in life. Wealth is not just a matter of income or inheritance. It is a matter of mindset. The person who believes in their ability to grow, serve, and provide value is already wealthier than the one who waits for external conditions to change. It's not the size of the wallet that builds wealth, it's the strength of the thinking behind it. Everything that exists in the world of money and business was first a thought. A product, a company, an invention, a service, all were born in someone's imagination before they appeared in someone's account. The mind is the workshop of creation. If you allow fear, scarcity, or limitation to live in your thoughts, then no matter how much money passes through your hands, it will never stay. But if your thinking is rich, filled with purpose, value, faith, and discipline, then money becomes a tool and not a goal. It becomes a servant, not a master. Some people try to skip the inner work. They chase shortcuts, schemes, and shallow success. But wealth that is not supported by the right thinking will collapse. The mind must be trained to handle riches before the bank account is ready to receive them. This is why many people who suddenly receive money through luck or inheritance end up losing it. The outer wealth was not matched by inner capacity. The mind must first become a steward of abundance before the hands can hold it. Your thoughts create beliefs, your beliefs shape behavior, and your behavior creates results. If you believe money is evil, you will unconsciously repel it. If you believe money is a reward for value, you will pursue growth and contribution. Riches begin in the mind because your financial life is a mirror of your internal world. If there is confusion inside, there will be disorder outside. If there is clarity inside, there will be progress outside. A rich mind is focused, strategic, generous, and responsible. It does not panic in lack or become arrogant in abundance. It understands that money flows where purpose is strong and discipline is consistent. Building mental wealth means feeding your mind with truth, with wisdom, and with principles that stand the test of time. It means replacing fear with faith, envy with gratitude, and laziness with effort. When the mind is rich, the person is never truly poor, because even if the bank account is low, the potential is high. The person knows how to think, how to create, how to solve, and how to serve, and from that place riches must eventually follow, because true wealth is not about what you possess, but about who you've become. When you grow into someone with a rich mindset, the world will offer you its rewards, not by accident but by design, not overnight but always on time.